let's begin on that.
Now, the one point occurred to me. We discussed in the morning, saying that we had come to the point where when we see the observer as the observed, then that is death, essentially, is what you said, right?
Yes.
Now, this raises a question. If the self is nothing but an image, right? Then what is it that dies? You see, if the image dies, that's nothing, right? That's not death, right?
Yeah, that's right.
So, is there something real that dies?
There is biological death.
Yeah, but we're not discussing that at the moment.
No.
You were discussing some kind of death.
When we were talking this morning,
Yeah.
I was trying to point out if there is no image at all,
Yes.
if there is no variety of images in my consciousness, I am dead. There is death.
Well, that's the point that's not clear. What is it that has died? You see, death implies something has died.
Died, the images have died. Me is dead.
But is that something, is that a genuine death in the sense
Ah,
of
that's
something?
what I want to call. That's what I want to. Is it a verbal comprehension?
Or, yes, or more deeply, is there something that has to die? You see, I'm trying to say something real.
Something.
Yeah, in other words, if an organism dies, I say, I see that to a point. Something real has died, you see.
Yes, something real has died.
Now, but when the self dies,
but I have accepted so far
yeah,
the self has been an astonishingly real thing.
yes,
You three come along and tell me that that image is fictitious. And I understand it, and I'm a little frightened that when that dies, when there is no image, there's an ending to something.
yeah, well, what is it that ends?
Ah, right. What is that ends?
Yes, because is it something real that ends, or you see, you could say an ending of an image is no ending at all, right?
At all. Oh,
If it's only an image that ends, that's an image of ending. I mean, I'm trying to say that it's nothing much ends if it's only an image, right?
yes. That's what I want to get at.
Is that, you know what I mean?
If it is merely an ending of an image,
Right, then there's nothing much.
there is nothing.
No, it's like turning off the television set.
Yes, that leaves me nothing.
Right. Is that what
Well, that's where is that what death is, or is there something deeper that
Oh,
dies?
very much deeper.
Something deep dies.
Yes.
Well, how about the image-making process? Would you want to...
Well, that's
Is that a something?
No. I would say it is not the end of the image, which is death, but something much deeper than that.
Yeah.
But it's still not the death of the organism, you see.
Still not the death of organism.
But
Of course,
would you
the
say
organism, we know that
We'll go on
will,
up to a point, right?
up to a point, yes, till a disease, accident, old age, or senility, and so on. But death, is it the ending of the image, which is fairly simple and fairly, acceptable and known,
Right.
but logically or even actually. But that, yes, but it's like, a very shallow pool.
Yes.
You have taken away the little water,
Right.
and then there is nothing but mud left behind. There is nothing. So, is there something much more?
That dies?
No. Not that dies, but the meaning of death.
Well,
Is there something more than the image that dies, or does death have a meaning beyond the death of the image?
Of course, that's what we are asking.
That's the question.
That's what we are
Is there something about death that is bigger than the death of the image?
Obviously, it must
Yes.
be.
will this include the death of the organism, this meaning?
Yes. Death of the organism might go on. I mean, the organism might go on, but eventually come to an end.
Yeah, but if we were to see what death means as a whole, universally, then we would also see what the death of the organism means.
Yes.
Right? Along
Yes.
with, and is there some meaning also to the death of the self-image? The same meaning.
That's only, I should say, that's only a very small part.
That's very small.
Right.
That's a very, very small part.
But then, is there, say, one could think there might be the death of the self-image, then there might be a process or a structure beyond the self-image that might die, and that creates the self-image.
Yes, that is thought.
That's thought. Now, are you discussing the death of thought?
Yes, that's only also again superficial.
It's very small.
Very small.
And is there something beyond thought in us that should
That's
die?
what I want to get at.
Yeah, we're trying to get at the meaning
we're not
of
quite
death.
clear.
Yeah, which is beyond the death of the self thought
And
or the
thought.
image.
No, just look. The image dies. Image wipe, that's
Right.
fairly simple.
Right.
It's a very shallow affair.
Right.
Then there's the ending of thought, which is the ending of dying to thought.
Right, you would say thought is deeper than the image, but still not very deep.
Not very deep. So we have removed the maker of image and the image itself.
Right. Right.
Now, is there something more?
In what sense something more? Something more that exists or something more that has to die? Or
Is it something creative that happens?
No, we're going to find out.
But I mean, your question is not clear when you say, is there something more?
Is there, no, is that all death? Is that death?
Oh, I see. Is that all that death is?
Yes.
This is death.
No. I understand image, maker of image.
Right.
But that's a very shallow affair.
Right. So then there's something
And I say,
else.
is that all? Is that the meaning of death?
Right. You mean, I think I'm getting with you. Is that the meaning of death only in that little part?
Yes,
or is there a meaning that's bigger?
Death must have something enormously significant.
Yeah.
Right.
Now you're saying death has a meaning, is significant for everything, for the
Yes.
whole of life.
Whole of life.
Yes. Now, first, could you say,
That's right.
why do you say it? Do you say, in other words, at first, it's not generally accepted if we're thinking of the viewer that death is that sort of thing. In other words, the way we live now, death is
Is at
just
the end.
the end, and you try to forget about it,
Yeah.
and try to make it unobtrusive and so on.
But if you, as you three have worked at it, pointed out, my life has been in a turmoil. And my life has been a constant conflict, anxiety, all the rest of it.
Right.
That's been my life. I've clung to the known. And therefore, the death is the unknown.
Right.
So I'm afraid of that. And we come along and say, look, death is partly the ending of the image, the maker of the image, and death must have much more greater significance than merely this empty saucer.
Well, if you could make it more clear why it must have, you see.
Why it must have? Because
Why must it?
is life just a shallow, empty pool? Empty mud at the end of it?
Well, you see,
Why would you assume it's anything else?
I want to know.
That's right. That's
but I mean, even if it is something else, I have to ask, why is it that death is the key to understanding that, do you see?
Because it's the ending of everything.
All right.
everything.
Reality
Right.
and all my concepts, images, end of all the memories,
Well, that's in the ending of thought, right?
ending of thought. And also it means ending of time.
Ending of time.
Ending, the time coming to a stop totally. And there is no future in the sense of past meeting the present and carrying
I
on.
mean, psychologically speaking.
Yes, psychologically speaking. Of course, we are
Yeah,
psychological.
we still admit the future on the clock.
Of course.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Ending, psychological ending of everything.
Right.
That's what is death is.
Right.